world of chaos, there is only one thing you can control. Your mind. Welcome to modern Stoicism.
The shock of solitude. Stop. Before you rush into another relationship, another friendship, another distraction, have you ever truly sat with yourself in the silence of your own soul? Have you noticed that in this world, we are taught to run from loneliness, drown out emptiness, fill every gap with someone, with something? What if the road to happiness, love, and purpose actually begins with a radical pause, a period of intentional, unapologetic solitude? Ask yourself, why do you fear being alone? What are you really running from? Is it rejection, or is it the reflection of who you might see in the mirror if no one is around? Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher of the ancient world, sat alone for years in self-examination. He asked himself, what is it in ourselves that we must master before we share our life with anyone? Today, we dive into this uncomfortable wisdom, not cheap advice for lonely hearts, but the powerful truth. Stay alone until you master yourself. The Great Escape. Why solitude terrifies us. If solitude makes you anxious, is it the quiet, or is it what surfaces in the silence? Have you noticed how the moment things get quiet, your mind starts hunting for escape? Scrolling, eating, texting, calling, dating, hustling. Seneca, Stoic master, taught, "Be alone, that you may learn to live with yourself. For what man is fit for company who cannot endure himself?" When you fill every silence, do you ever wonder, what are you hiding from? What wounds are left open? What questions unanswered? What weaknesses left unhealed, just because it's easier to be seen by others than by your own soul? What would you discover if you gave yourself permission to stop running and started listening? Cultivating awareness, the first step to mastery. True self-mastery doesn't happen in chaos. It begins in the stillness, when your mind is brutally honest with itself. In ancient times, philosophers went into the wilderness, into their studies, into long periods of solitude, not just for peace, but for clarity. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Solitude is your first teacher. Let every ache, every regret, every flicker of insecurity rise in the quiet. Ask yourself, what triggers my loneliness? What are the voices that echo in silence? Whose approval am I still seeking, even when nobody is watching? Self-awareness is brutal at first. It peels back layers you'd rather keep hidden. But it's the birthplace of every transformation worth having. Deeply questioning your drives. Tension build. Why do you chase relationships? Is it love, or is it the relief from having to know yourself? How many people end up broken, disappointed, or jaded, not because love failed, but because they entered partnership before ever knowing themselves? The Stoics never said, "Be alone forever." They said, first, build a fortress within. Only then, open the gates. If you're haunted by a desperate need to be chosen, validated, comforted, ask where that hunger comes from. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony." But can you love solitude, the destiny of waiting, until you find inner harmony? Sit with the uncomfortable truth. What you attract is a reflection of what you carry within. The power of choosing solitude, self-respect, not self-pity. Let's flip the narrative. Staying alone is not a punishment, but a bold declaration of self-respect. Anyone can jump from relationship to relationship. Anyone can drown themselves in the noise of belonging. But very few have the courage to say, I will not settle for companionship until I can be my own companion first. Seneca warns, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you are capable of improving. The process is mutual. Men learn as they teach. But if you offer your presence before you have presence, you teach only confusion. Ask yourself, if you woke up tomorrow with nobody to impress, nobody to please, nobody to surrender to, who would you choose to become? Powerful people always waited until they were whole before they invited someone else into their wholeness. Strengthening the mind, the Stoic training ground. Solitude is the forge where discipline is built. Are your habits chosen or inherited from a crowd? Are your thoughts your own or echoes from relationships gone by? Epictetus instructs, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Train yourself alone. Develop routines that make you stronger, not just busier. Face your fears instead of outsourcing comfort. Build virtues, patience, resilience, self-control. The mind sharpened in loneliness is more powerful than the mind distracted by constant attention. What habits will you master in solitude so they become your armor when you return to the world? Unpacking old patterns, the true inner work. Solitude is where you meet your past, not to get stuck, but to break free. How many times did you repeat the same relationship mistakes, chase the same unavailable people, sabotage your own happiness, because you never stopped to reflect? Marcus Aurelius asked himself nightly, does what happened keep you from acting with justice, generosity, self-control, sanity, prudence, honesty, and humility? What would happen if instead of blaming the world, you used solitude to learn the lesson hidden in your history? Ask yourself, where have I let loneliness make decisions for me? What patterns do I want to end with me? What legacy do I want solitude to shape? People who only fear the dark never see the stars. Building values, not just walls. Solitude is not just about escape, it's about construction. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe? What are my non-negotiable values? What kind of life do I want to live even if nobody approves? Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long if you know how to use it. What boundaries can you finally set when there's no one left to cross them but yourself? What vision can you finally explore when there's no one left to distract you from your calling? Come back to relationships only when your soul is overflowing, not when it's half empty and desperate.
The transformation, who you become in silence. When you master yourself in solitude, you become magnetic, not needy. You no longer chase love, you attract it. You don't beg for respect, you embody it. How will the world treat you when you treat yourself with sacred reverence? Epictetus. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Mastering yourself means learning emotional regulation, cultivating courage to face vulnerability, building a life that inspires trust, not just attention. Now, people, opportunities, and love return, not as crutches, but as complements to your already powerful center. When to return to the world. Wisdom of Stoic connection. The Stoics weren't loners forever. The point was to become strong enough to participate in life without losing yourself. Marcus Aurelius himself found deep love, strong friendship, and loyal comrades, but only after mastering his mind. He wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." Approach relationships as gifts, not needs. Engage, but don't enmesh. Share yourself fully, but never lose the sanctuary you built inside. Ask, am I ready to bring my wholeness into the world, or does the world still tempt me to give up my soul for comfort? Deep quotes to live and love by. Citations, wisdom. Let these words guide you. Marcus Aurelius. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Seneca. If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If according to opinion, you will never be rich. Epictetus. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Take one quote. Meditate on it. Let solitude deepen its meaning. The call to action. Claim your solitude, claim your power. If you're watching this, you're not weak for being alone. You're a philosopher, a seeker, a potential master of your own fate. Challenge. Spend time alone, uncomfortable, undistracted, undiluted. Journal. Meditate. Reflect with radical honesty. Build the habits of kings, not beggars. When you're ready to return to the world, do so as someone worthy of respect, of partnership, of leadership. Drop a comment. What's the lesson solitude taught you? Which Stoic quote impacts you most? Subscribe for more deep philosophy and real inner strength. You're not empty when you're alone. You're preparing your soul for the kind of love, purpose, and peace no crowd can give you.